Boom, guys, it's your boy J-Dog back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my created players' life stories part 3. So basically, if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, let me explain. So obviously these people are fake. They are not real players. If you haven't seen those videos yet, I'm going to explain the rules. So basically, please do not look these guys up on Wikipedia because these players that I'm writing about are not real, so they're not going to be on Wikipedia. And if you search them, it's probably just going to show a dude from college or a president or whatever. But don't do that because these players we're talking about today are fake players that I made. I have not put them in the game yet, but we're going to show you how to make them when I add them to the game. So for now, before we do that, we're going to be talking about my fiction players' life stories of my players. I made these players, and I gave them this life, so I hope you enjoy it. But last time in part 2, we left off with Klygon. Klygon? I think his name's Klygon. Let me check. Yeah, Klygon. So we finished with him last time, not last name. So before we get in the video, though, anyways, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more J-Dog content. Now, this time I made sure to turn off the background noise so you guys can understand more. But anyways, what we left off at Klygon, well, that's the last player we read. We talked about how he did a talent show. They did a backflip, and Klygon can do backflips. I've got to mention that he can do that, and that's why he picked it. And then we talked about that he appeared in a fiction show, because obviously I already told you this Shut Up show is not a real show. It's just a show name that I came up with. I couldn't figure out another show name. But you guys can comment what fake shows I should have added instead of Shut Up and Worthless. Do you know what worthless means? I don't know. But anyways, that's what we finished off with Klygon. I hope your favorite, comment down below your favorite player in part 2, which I don't think I asked you guys that question. My mom says it's Klygon. Ooh. So who's going to be the winner of my fiction story votes? So far, Klygon is the vote. He's on the leaderboard. He's first in the fiction story life leaderboard because my mom liked that story. So Klygon, my fiction player Klygon, is first on the leaderboard of his fiction life style and story. So he's going to be on the leaderboard for the best fiction life story in this series. And then second will be Bentry Walker will be in second. And then who will be in the third leaderboard, or who will take and put Klygon at second? You'll get the point when we continue. But now that we're in part 3, we got to start off with the new guy, and we're going to be talking about my fiction player, Jace Minmoyne. Minmoyne. Yes, I know it's a weird name, okay? And it probably sounds like mayonnaise to you. But anyways, Jace Minmoyne was born April 8th, 2008. So he's a couple of years older than me. A couple months older than me. He's not real, though, so I'm older than him because he's not real. Woo! Anyways, he got into basketball at 5 years old. One of his friends got him into the game. And because of his brother, Chris Minmoyne, another fiction player, which you probably already know. If you're saying, Jay, if he has a brother, we know his brother's fake too. But anyways, Chris Minmoyne, who is about 34 years old. Chris Minmoyne played with the Arizona Eagles and the Phoenix Coyotes. He was with the Eagles in his freshman year. So he graduated in 2009. Chris Minmoyne graduated in 2009. Because my mom's 2 years older than him which means he would graduate in 2009. Anyways, in his freshman year, he played with the Eagles, and sophomore year, then with the Coyotes from junior to senior year, before graduating a second in top of his class. I don't think that makes sense. He is the second best. He is second in the top, or second in top of his class. So he's not top of his class, but he's second to top on his class. If that makes sense. All right. Chris graduated 2 months early after getting all his credits done early. Chris was about 19 to 22 years old when his brother Jace Moyne was born. It's getting risky. It's kind of like my friend. My friend is like 16, and he has a 36-year-old sister. So it's basically kind of like this. Okay, it's kind of like this. Anyways, Jace was when he was born. When Jace was born, his brother was like 22. Jace joined the Urinal League in October 2022. Jace played with the Arizona Eagles for his freshman year. He was traded in the same year in his freshman year for Baden Base. Now, in the last video, we talked about, I don't know if you can get traded in a professional high school league, because OTE is a professional high school league, and they trade. Well, I only seen the trade like once. That was it in OTE, and that was it. Okay. They're kind of, sometimes OTE people are cringe. Alright, anyways. Back on top. He played with Minnesota Urinal League. He played with the Minnesota Urinal League team, where he finished the season with 5.4 points per game. Yeah, that makes me want to throw up because of how much he averaged. Anyways, and then he had 1.8 assists per game. Not the best assists per game, but pretty good. In his sophomore year, his parents moved to Texas to be close to their son, Chris Moyne, who Chris Moyne moved to Texas when he graduated from the Urinal League. So when he graduated, he was going to play for Texas for college, and then he decided basketball was over for him. Anyways, to be close to Chris Moyne, Jace's brother. Jace averaged 10.1 points per game, 2.3 assists per game improved, and 4.5 rebounds per game in his sophomore year. Jace has only played 2 games so far in the 2024-2025 Urinal League season. Jace is a very good defensive rebounder, and he's also a very good offensive rebounder player as a shooting guard. He can also shoot threes and mid-range. He can even be athletic at times, like Kyle Kuzma, I guess. He had a poster dunk on Jaden Drewanda in May 2024. So if you don't know what a poster means he dunked on top of his body or his face or whatever. It's when it's a poster dunks when you make body contact. Sometimes they don't call it a foul, but it depends. Anyways, he is currently averaging 1.2 points per game. Very terrible. Very terrible. Guys, do not ever average that much. 0.2 assists per game. Did terrible at rebounding too, even though I just mentioned he's a good D. Okay. Anyway, 0.1 rebounds per game. Jace plans to go to Tennessee or Gonzaga for college. Jace also likes to cook, and he likes music. He could one day become a singer. Like, guys, do you think he'll make a Singer Mask? What's that show called? Is the show called Singer Mask? I don't know. I forgot. I don't. Okay. Maybe he's not gonna appear in that, but I think that's where you have to guess. Never mind. I don't know. You're supposed to guess who the singer is. Like, if it's Lady Gaga. I don't know. I don't know how that works. My friend, I think, knows about that. Anyways, I might give him a curly hair, aka curls. I used to have curl hair. My hair straight again. I don't think. Guys, should I go back to my my curly hair? Just let me know. Anyways, I don't think you've ever seen my hair curly. But anyways, the reason I brought this up is because this is kind of like Jason Moyne, so maybe he could get that curly hair like I did. Or something else, but I will figure it out soon. Anyways, it's time to move on to the next dude. Next up is Nate Navarro. Now, I did not make this fiction player. My mom actually made this fiction player. So shout out to my mom for making this guy. But he is also a fiction player. So my mom made me a fiction player's story. Like she made me, like she made up her own fiction life for Nate Navarro. Anyways, Nate Navarro was from Tucson, AZ, and is 17 years... Okay, he was 17 years old when he graduated from Marana High School. Yes, yeah. It's pretty weird, but yeah. He played basketball all through high school and committed to play college basketball at Tennessee Christian College. Okay, I told my mom there was the Tennessee Volunteers, but I guess she didn't like it, so she chose a different Tennessee. Now, I don't think Tennessee Christian is a actual college, but like I said, it's a fiction story, so... I told Alexa if Tennessee Christian College is an actual college, and she said Tennessee Christian Cleveland College. Okay, never mind. That's what she said, but I had to whisper so Alexa doesn't hear my name. Anyways, he grew up in a very conservative family that went to church and believed going to Tennessee College was the best path for him, for what God chose him, or whatever. Okay, let me read it in a better version. He believed going to Tennessee was the right path for God to choose him. He listened to rap and country music and loved hiking in the hot desert. I would never do that. I would never deal in the hot desert, man. The Mexican food, especially chimichangas. What are chimichangas? And tamales. I already know what tamales are. Hey, I'm a little Mexican. Tennessee was going to be a very different experience for him. But he was eager to be near Nashville and explore a new area. Nate is 6'2", 180 pounds. Okay. He weighs 180 pounds. Okay? And he is a light-skinned Mexican boy. His hair was black, straight, and clean cut. Anyways, he always wears a rosary around his neck, which means something to do with Christians. Around his neck. That his Nana gave him. Nana Stella. Actually, no, because I think I already have a Nana named Stella, so no, we're not doing that. Okay. Nana Lupita. Okay. Before he left for college. After college, he got drafted to the Utah Jazz. Now, so for 2K, obviously I didn't make him get drafted yet, but for 2K, I'm going to be putting him on the Utah Jazz since my mom already picked that team. And she probably picked that team because she's got family from Utah. Is that a big time dad? Alright. Anyways, he was drafted by the Utah Jazz, despite the team not being very great, which they're bad. They're bad. You want to hear something crazy? They're the worst team in the NBA, and they beat the Warriors. No, for real. The Warriors are not good, but they're better than the Jazz. And no, I can't believe that. Anyways, despite the team not being very good, he was much closer to his hometown in AZ, so he was happy and tried to make the best of his career. Nate's friends called him Nate Dogg, who unfortunately... Nate Dogg... There's a rapper named Nate Dogg. I think he's Snoop Dogg's brother, but unfortunately, Nate Dogg died. But anyways, Nate Navarro didn't die, but he's got the nickname after the rapper Nate Dogg. He is bilingual, which means he could speak 2 languages. Unfortunately, I'm not bilingual, so let me know if you're bilingual. He is a good point guard and has signature moves and does a bachata dance after he scores. That's very weird. Anyways, he is dating a girl from University of Utah named Claire. She's blonde and he likes blondes. Okay. Actually, I like yellow hair. Yellow hair, aka blonde. Next up is Yoshi Weathers. Yeah. I'm going to explain in a minute. Okay. Yoshi is not Chinese. He is an American high school basketball player and is from Oregon, Portland. His grandparents were born in Oklahoma, and Yoshi's ancestors are also American. So no, Yoshi is not Chinese. His dad isn't Chinese. His mom isn't Chinese, and his grandparents are not Chinese. His parents used to play Super Mario a lot as a kid, and their favorite Mario character was Yoshi. I agree. Yoshi's also my favorite Mario character. I still like Mario though. Like you can't get Mario hate. Anyways, yeah, they used to play Super Mario a lot as a kid, and their favorite character, like I said, was Yoshi. They said Yoshi is a cute character in Mario. He does look cute. I know that sounds sus for a boy to say that, but I'm sorry. Anyways, cute character. That's why they named their son after Yoshi from Mario. They obviously liked Mario too. Like, everyone likes Mario too. When Yoshi's dad and mom met, they both liked playing Mario. Yoshi's mom hung out after school and played Super Mario at the park with Yoshi's dad. Yoshi's parents weren't really sports people and never played sports. Mom didn't play sports, maybe gymnastics, I don't know. And his dad didn't play basketball, probably soccer, I don't know. But Yoshi got into the game after being invited to an NBA game with his friend. His friend also loved basketball, and that got Yoshi into it. He had so much fun that he started playing basketball at 7 years old. About a year later, Yoshi's dad wasn't good at basketball, so he wasn't good enough to train him, so they decided to hire a trainer for Yoshi, and the trainer's name is Lamar Nates. That's a dope name I came up with. He is 45 years old and played basketball as well. Yoshi joined the Urna League in October 2022. After the Urna League added a new team in Oregon, they also had Darren Cutie, where Yoshi and him became friends instantly as teammates, and they became friends in general. Oregon was added to the Urna League in September 2022. The team had Raylan Z and Yoshi as the guards in the starting lineup, and Cutie was the small forward who can also shoot 3-ball pretty darn good. They ended up getting rid of Raylan the next season and swapped him with Devin Newman, a new guard to duo up with Yoshi, a better player than Raylan. They also got Shigalazi Lopez, and then they got Joshua Gallatin, and that's it. So Shigalazi Lopez plays power forward. He's a very athletic dunker. Well, obviously Shigalazi Lopez is also a fiction player, but I picture him as a very phenomenal athletic dunker. And same with Joshua Gallatin. Gallatin's a small forward. Okay. Yoshi finished with 17.5 points per game in the 2023-2024 season. In the 2024-2025 season, Darren left the Urna League. Darren Cutie, because I remember adding 2 Darrens to the team. But Darren Cutie left the Urna League and moved to another high school for his junior year. Yoshi is averaging 20.1 points per game currently so far in the 2024-2025 season. He has been having excellent alley-oop passes to his pal, Joshua Gallatin. And that's Yoshi Weathers. Then we have Zaylin Yuri, and then we have... Oops, sorry, my bad. I spoiled you. Okay. Anyways, next up is Hendy Johnson. It's a pretty dope name. My mom thought it was a dope name, too. A dope name for my fiction player. Hendy Johnson is currently a junior who joined the Urinal League when they moved his team to the Urinal League in 2022 of December. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. My favorite month of 2022. Anyways, back on top. As the Urinal League was looking to add more high school basketball teams to their league, Hendy played with the Los Angeles team before they were sent down to the Urinal League. But everyone stayed on the team. No one left the team because they got moved to the Urinal League. And the rest of the teammates stayed as well. When they were added to the Urinal League, Hendy was only a freshman during that time and averaged 19.1 points per game. He stands at 6'1", and he weighs about 173 pounds, aka LBS. I think that doesn't matter though. In his sophomore year, they added a new player named Craig Ensom, who was in his freshman year, which is now in his sophomore year. Craig Ensom fake. In the 2023-2024 season, he finished his sophomore year with 23.3 points per game. He played an old elementary classmate named Jaden McMike, who we're going to be making in 2K soon. Stay tuned for that. They went to the same elementary school that went from K to 8th, but they were in different grades, so I believe Johnson is in his junior year, and Jaden's in his senior year. What? They're 1 year apart. Okay. But anyways, they were not in the same grade, but they always saw each other during lunch or recess. Now, obviously, they're in different grades, so they have different lunch times. But sometimes, if Hendy Johnson's class got free recess, then they would be with the older grades. So anyways, they saw each other at recess and sometimes at assemblies and pep rallies. I think a pep rally is an assembly. They had some words in the first... Jaden and Johnson had some words in the first round in 2024. In one of the games, Hendy threw down a rare dunk, and it was nasty. And he threw it down with authority. Basically, what I just said is nasty, another version of authority. And he kind of dunked on Jaden McMike because he was next to the side of him, next to the side of Hendy's body when Hendy threw it down. And Jaden kind of reached in to try and block Hendy. Hendy did... Okay, sorry. I completely skipped everything. They ended up losing in the first round to Jaden and his fraternal brother, Clyde. Hendy doesn't really dunk, but he threw down that time because he felt like he was in the mood to dunk. Like, he's like, usually I don't like to dunk, but today I feel like dunking. So that's what he did. So far this season, Hendy hasn't dunked at all. He has 0 dunks. And so far in the 2024-2025 season, he is averaging 24.6 points per game. Now, that's Hendy Johnson. Woo, woo. Next up is Zylan Yuri, who I'm also going to be showing you guys how to make an NBA 2K25 real soon. I don't know when. I haven't filmed it yet, but I'm going to have to film it, edit it, and then voila, it'll be on YouTube. It's pretty easy to edit that, though. Zylan Yuri was born on April 23rd, 2022, and is currently 22 years old. I have to take a deep breath. 22 years old. Zylan secretly played in the Urinal League for 2 years back in his freshman year and sophomore year with the Charlotte Jaguars. After that, he went to a different high school called McLean High School for his junior year and senior year. After he graduated from high school, he moved back to his home country, Jordan. Yes, Jordan is a country. If you don't know that, you need to be learning more about your country, okay? I mean, it's not... Never mind. If you're from the United States, you probably don't understand much about their culture. But if you went on a trip there, probably did. Anyways, after moving at 7 years old to South Carolina. So at 7 years old, they moved away from Jordan to go to South Carolina. Zylan was born. He was born and he was born speaking English. So he didn't really learn about his own language. Yeah, pretty crazy. His grandparents wore hats and head scarves, as some Jordan people would wear in their country. Zylan didn't, though. He hates wearing hats because they bother him and they are itchy for him. Yes, they can itch your hair if you picture it that way. So, yeah. Zylan didn't, though. He hated wearing hats, bother him. They were itchy for him. Zylan has dreadlocks, but it's not as common in Jordan, but he's lucky to have dreadlocks. But some people in Jordan could have dreadlocks, but it's not as common as, Anyways, where do we leave off? Okay. Zylan has been playing basketball since he was 3 years old. He is currently playing in his senior year of college and is entering the 2025 NBA draft, which is fake. He is not really going to the NBA. But in 2K, I'm going to be adding him to the 2025 draft. But in real life, he is not going to be in the 2025 draft. Anyways, Zylan does turn the ball over a lot, though. So, sometimes he just throws awful passes and makes mistakes. And he passes it at the wrong moment, and then it can get stolen. Kentucky Shannon and his former teammate, Kentucky Shannon, and his current teammate, Jonah Mitchell. So, Kentucky Shannon is his former teammate now. They're not teammates anymore. Jonah Mitchell and Zylan are still teammates, though. We're mad at him. So, anyways, let me refresh. Kentucky Shannon and Jonah Mitchell were drafted. Sorry, I read the wrong part. Kentucky Shannon and Jonah Mitchell were mad at him back in 2024 because Zylan Yuri blocked his defender with 2 seconds in the fourth. On the next play, Zy, aka Zylan. On the next play, they were mad at Zy because Zylan Yuri blocked his defender with 2 seconds. Oh my god. On the next play, Zy went to shoot the ball. He shot too high and the ball hit the backboard, then hit the front of the rim, close to the backboard, and bounced off. Then hit the side of the rim twice. It ended up coming right out, and the game went to OT. And this was during a fiction tournament. Team Jordan ended up losing as Zylan cost the game by calling a timeout with no more timeouts left. We've seen that happen a lot. I forgot what teams did that. I know Jaden Ivey accidentally called timeout when there wasn't any timeouts left. There's been a lot of people that, oh yeah, in the NBA Finals, Draymond Green called a timeout. There was no timeouts left in the NBA Finals, and they ended up losing that game as the Raptors won their first championship. So a lot of NBA players accidentally call timeouts when there's no more left, so that's kind of what I pulled off for Zylan. The game was already tied before he called the timeout, but they lost 95-97, forcing them to lose when they could have maybe went to a double OT. The teammates were upset and disappointed after Zylan made them lose. Even Kentucky was furious. So Zylan can be dumb sometimes and turn the ball over, like I said. He is currently averaging 13.0. Anyways, as I was saying, the camera got cut off because of stupid storage. As I was saying, Zylan is currently averaging 13.0 points per game in the 2024-2025 season so far. Woo! As Zylan, now we got one more player to speak about. Adrian collects. Adrian is currently So, let me say this again. I said it too fast. His name is Adrian Collects. So how you spell his last name? So, Adrian's last name is spelled Calex. Not Collects. No, that's not how he spells his last name. Adrian is currently in his senior year in the Urinal League. By the way, you'll get how to spell his name when I show you guys how to make it. He joined the Urinal League in August 2021 as the third pick in Pick Your Hat Day. So Pick Your Hat Day basically means like he picked any Urinal League team and he grabbed any of the Urinal League team hats and he grabbed the Minnesota one. He grabbed the Minnesota Urinal League hat to officially be part of their organization. But the Urinal League is now called Urinal League Pick Your Hat Day is now called the Urinal League Draft. He plays for Minnesota Urinal League team. He joined a few months before Adger Brown. By the way, I originally put AJ Brown, aka Adger, and this is why. AJ Brown, aka Adger, so you don't get mixed up with the NFL AJ Brown, because there's an NFL player named AJ Brown who's officially in the Super Bowl. Adrian also played with Kyrie Simmons, Klygon Simmons. Kyrie and Klygon are brothers. And Samuel Klygon. They are also good players. So Kyrie, Klygon, and Samuel were all good players. But Samuel, I picture him on a new high school Urinal League team. They are also good players. Oh, yeah, I already said that. Adger and Adrian only got to play with Kyrie Simmons for like 2 years. Because Kyrie is going to be, I'm going to make him in 2K, but he's in his, I picture him in his second year? Yeah, I think second. Anyways, where did we leave off? 2 years. They won the Urinal League Championship in 2022. Then the next season, they pulled a Golden State Warriors and did terrible the next season after winning the championship. Because just like in the 2022 NBA Finals, the Warriors won the championship in 2022. Then the next season, they did horrible. Made the playoffs, but didn't do good in the playoffs. Yeah, they did not do good in the playoffs. Like, if they did good in the playoffs, they would easily be able to get past the Kings. But since they were so bad, the series was so long that it went to Game 7. When if they were a good team, they would easily get past them and not go to Game 7. So anyways, they pulled a Golden State Warrior and didn't after winning the championship. Adrian began basketball at 4 years old and joined his first basketball team at 6 years old. In middle school, his parents made a bet. The bet was, well, let me read it exactly how it says. In middle school, his parents made a bet that is still a bet to this day. So, here is what the bet is. So, here's what the bet is. If Adrian misses a free throw, he owes his family dinner. And that helps him focus on his free throws so he doesn't have to buy his family dinner. Because he probably doesn't have much money to buy them dinner. So, to make sure this doesn't happen, he has to make free throws the entire game without missing a single free throw. And this made him focus really well in his freshman year. He was an 89% free throw shooter in his freshman year. He did owe his family dinner a couple of times in his freshman year. In his sophomore year, he had a 92% free throw shooting percentage, which means he's gotten better every year since the bet. And owed his family 5 dinners in his sophomore year. In his junior year, he was a 96% free throw shooter and owed his family dinner 3 times in his junior year. This year, in the 2024-2025 season, he is a 99% free throw shooter and hasn't owed his family dinner at all this season. He is only averaging 7.5 points per game this season, while he had 14.4 points per game in his junior year. In his freshman year, he averaged 15.6 points per game, and in his sophomore year, he averaged 18.5 points per game. This season, his season high in the year in the league is 18 points. In his last game last week, he finished the game with 8 points, but had 15 assists. And that is his assist career high in the year in the league right now. He is going to be 18 in a few weeks in March. Woo! And those are all the guys. Those are all of my fiction players' stories. So these are all the fiction players I wrote about. And this is the life I gave my fiction players. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on, and comment down below your favorite created player fiction story was your favorite today. So please comment down below. Last time it was Klygon. Remember, Klygon is first on the leaderboard as the best created fiction story so far. Anyways, I'm J-Dog, and I'm out. Peace. Ugh. What is up, guys? It's your boy J-Dog, back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my fiction players' story lives, part 3. I think part 3. No, part 4, I think. So this is part 4 of me talking about my creative players' story lives and the players I'm going to be putting into 2K as well. So basically, these people that I write about are always going to be. Yeah. So anyways, if you don't know it, then basically, I'm talking about my created players' story lives, and then we're going to put them into 2K, and then we're going to show you guys how to make them. So remember, let's get into the video. So before we get in the video, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more J-Dog content. By the way, Klygon Fisher is still #1 on the leaderboard. So yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna eat lunch first. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back from lunch. So, anyways, we were about to talk about our first player. So, the first player we're going to be talking about is Klygon Bark. By the way, if you don't want Klygon to be #1 anymore, you're gonna have to vote. So, at least 15 votes until Klygon gets to 2nd place. Okay? So, if you want someone else to be #1, the only way that player can be #1 is if they get a lot of votes as him being the best fiction player story life so far. So Klygon, like I said, Klygon could be on #1 eventually. Just depends what happens. But anyways, we're gonna get into Klygon Bark in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Whew, okay, I gotta swallow. Okay, Klygon Bark was born on May 31st. May 13th, 2007. Got the numbers flipped. My mom says I probably have dyslexic. I don't know how to say it. Dyslexic? Yeah, there you go. Anyways, Klygon Bark is currently 17 years old. Yeah. Okay. And will be 18 in 3 months. Klygon Bark got into basketball at the age of 7. Sorry, I had to take a moment there. But anyways, Klygon got into basketball at the age 7. Klygon was 5'1" at 7 years old. Probably really tall for a 7-year-old. To be Klygon at 7 years old, he started playing point guard. After 2 years, he was 9, and he grew to 5'4". So 2 years later, he got a little gianter. Yeah. Anyways, he grew to 5'4". At 9 years old, he was 5'10". Then about 6 months later, he was 6'1". How do you get that tall in months? Probably happened with Bryce. Yeah, I think it's happened to Bryce. So, if you're wondering what Bryce is talking about, I'm talking about Bryce James. Then 7 months later, he was 6'7". At 13 years old, he was 6'9". He joined the year in the league after finding out about the program. He joined at about 14 years old, the maximum age to join the Yearna League. Oh, sorry. The way I said it didn't sound right. The maximum age to join the Yearna League is 13 to 21 years old. Back then, you had to be 14 to join, because that's usually when high school starts for you. And you had to be 18 to finish, so you couldn't play college there. Killen grew to 6'10" 4 months into his Yearna League career. So he started off the Yearna League with 6'9", as a 6'9" person. Alright, Killen became a center in 2022. He can be a lockdown defender. His dad played shooting guard back in the day in 1994 to my birth year, 2008. He retired in 2008 playing overseas. Killen played a year with the Coyotes, then went to Charlotte, then went to the San Francisco, and then now he's playing for the Las Vegas Yearna League team. He and his parents moved again for his mom's business in 2023. We've seen that one before. He made his Yearna League Vegas debut back in 2024. Killenbark just got injured on February 7th, 2025. Do not search this injury, because if you're just joining us, he's fake. Alright. He will enter the NBA straight from the Yearna League, kind of like when Asar and a man entered the NBA from a high school league called OTE. And we finally got to see them as teammates in the Rising Stars game. It was fun, but it didn't last too long, as they lost. It was a target score, so it makes it even more not enough time for them to play together. Just like the Yearna League, which is a high school league. Killenbark is a special kid, aka dude. Or should I say aka bro. He's my bro. Okay? So, I pretend that the Yearna League is similar to OTE, so that they could help you become a pro. Next up is Bryce Miller. Okay, for Bryce Miller. Bryce Miller is a junior, by the way. I'm trying to make this video real quick. Bryce Miller is a junior in high school. Bryce has been playing basketball since 12 years old. Bryce is spectacular at defense for a point guard. Similar to Jalen Wright, who we talked about last video when we talked about that he was a very good defender for a point guard, especially at did I picture him as 6'2"? I think he was 6'2". Couldn't remember, but yeah. Bryce has been with the Las Vegas Yearna League team since they moved to the Yearna League. So at the time he joined, they weren't called a Yearna League team yet. But they decided, why don't we move this popular school to a big area called the Yearna League, so we can have some better momentum. Which means what I mean by that is, so they can get seen more and so they can pick up more players. So they moved in November of 2022, so 2 years ago. Bryce is a role player coming off the bench for C. Windy. C. Windy I picture him with the weird jump shots. It's good that he comes in to replace him. Okay, Bryce said he wants to go to Oregon for college. His sister moved to Oregon in 2018. She is currently 27 years old. He wants to be close to his sister again. He hasn't seen her since 2018. By the way, we haven't seen... well, my stepsister hasn't lived with us since 2022. Obviously, we still see her, but only in December. Okay, well, similar, not really, though, because we still get to see her. almost every year though, so not much. So it's kind of like Bryce, I guess you could say. He hasn't seen her since 2018, but they still keep in touch. Dude, if your siblings move out and you don't keep in touch with them, I don't know. I think I still keep in touch with my stepsister because I go live sometimes on Instagram, and she sees my lives a lot, so we still kinda, I guess. But Bryce wants to see sister like in person. All right, well, if you if you guys don't stay in touch with your siblings, I don't know what's wrong with you. It means you don't really care about them. All right. April of 2018 was the last time they ever saw each other. And I was still young. I was such a weird kid in April of 2018. Not just April, the entire 2018. Where did I... Okay. She finished college in 2021, but she might go to school again to learn how to have the best business ever and how much money you want to pay your guys for your business. And like for your business, how much money are you going to be paying these guys around? I'm paying them around $50,000. So basically the business I picture her wanting to work at is learning how to do real estate or whatever you call it. But yeah, she wanted to learn more about that. So I don't really know how to explain how like going to college will help you get the perfect business. But if you guys run a business, you guys can comment down below how everything works. Because, like if you want to get... So, let's say you're in college right now and you want to learn about business. So far, how did you guys learn? Like, did you learn how the money works so far and how you're able to do all this? Like, let me know how your business tutoring goes. Alright. So, here's how I think. How to learn a perfect business and how to use money and how much math you need to use to understand how much money you are going to be making and how much you're going to be paying these customers. Because they might want to sign up with your company so you could get better bill money and just better stuff to help with your electricity bill, a lot of other bills. So she wants to learn how she's going to be doing this, and it would be perfect for the customers. Bryce wants to go to the NBA. All my current players, I want them to go to the NBA, and they're going to be going to the NBA in 2K only, unfortunately. Bryce is averaging 10.3 points per game, 2.4 blocks per game, 4.1 steals per game, and 5.6 assists per game, and 5.2 rebounds per game. Why don't we throw that in there? Okay. He has a 32% three-point shot. He is a decent three-point shooter. He's only 6'4", which is perfect for a point guard like him. You know, back in the days, I think the maximum height was like 6'5", 6'4", for a point guard. But now point guards can be like... I think they started allowing taller point guards during Magic Johnson's time. So Magic Johnson was a 6'9" point guard. Next up is a player that my mom created. Woo! Okay, here we go. Kai Myers was born May 17th, 2002 in Tacoma, Washington. Kai is biracial, which means what we kind of talked about with bilingual with Nate Navarro. Kind of like that, except they're different. Biracial means, like, you have half of your dad's skin, half of your... I don't know, honestly. His father is black and his mom is Filipino. I think Jalen Green's actually Filipino. Obviously, he's born in America, but I think he's biracial. Okay? And maybe Jared McCain is, because I think he says he's from there too. I don't believe it. He is an only child, and his parents devoted a lot of their lives to Kai and developing his skills to play sports. It's pretty much like my neighbors. He temporarily tried football when he was in middle school, but once he tried basketball, he quickly fell in love with the game. And occasionally he will watch football. His favorite team is the Seattle Seahawks. In real life, they suck, okay? They suck, and I hate to admit it. Alright, anyways, Kai was very focused in high school. He went to Tacoma High School and played guard for the basketball team. Kai quickly became a star and excelled, I don't know, academically as well. Kai was 6'3" and 195 pounds. He had short curly hair and always wore his hair with stylish lines and cuts. When Kai was a senior, he got scouted to play for Ohio State. Okay, so they do have that in 2K, so you can give them burn cuts or whatever, and you could give them like lightning bolts on the side of their head. In college, he also excelled. Despite not being a notable team, in his second year, he was drafted to play for the Milwaukee Bucks, who I'm going to be putting him... So, when I add him to 2K, I'm going to be putting him on the Milwaukee Bucks. So, maybe he'll play with Giannis. Okay, we're back. But anyways, as I was saying, in NBA 2K, we're going to be putting him on the Milwaukee Bucks, since my mom kind of already spilled the tea. Like with my other players, I haven't talked about what NBA teams are going to go to. I'm just going to let CPU manage that for my league. But, hey, that's what my mom picked. She already picked the Bucks for them, so we're going to put him on the Bucks, if possible. And maybe he will play with Giannis, because in 2K, he might retire. I don't think he'll be able to play with Lillard, but hey, there could be a chance. Despite not being notable, yeah, we already talked about that. He was drafted for the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round. Kai struggled in his first season, but by the second season, he and Giannis learned how to play well together and become the hottest duo. You know, like, I thought. So, Kai struggled, but in the second year, he got better. Guess who did not do that? Killian Hayes. Maybe he could have struggled in his first season, okay? But in his second season, I'm pretty sure every Pistons fan thought he was going to spill in and get better. And then, yes, he did not make any shots, okay? He took dumb shots. He and Giannis learned how to play. But obviously, in this story, Kai got better in his second year. Well, he wasn't that bad in his first season, I guess. And become the hottest duo. In 2025, Kai and Giannis are currently breaking records and are hoping to make the championship again. So maybe Giannis can win his second. Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez can win their second. And then my fiction player, Kai, or my mom's fiction player, I should say, Kai, is gonna win his first, if it's even possible. We'll have to see what happens. Oh, no. And maybe Lillard could if he doesn't retire in the game. But I'm pretty sure he might be retired. Okay, where did we leave off? Okay, Kai. So anyways, Kai was also picked to represent Team USA on the Olympic team, which is a huge honor for such a young player. You know what else is such a huge honor? Curry went off in the 2024 gold medal game. They did not lose a single game in the Olympics. Not a single game. I thought they were going to lose to, was it Serbia a couple months ago? I thought they were going to lose. They came back and won, and they didn't lose a single game in the Olympics. Can Kai do it? We'll have to find out. Next up is Yolgada Sergliskis. I never talked about this guy before, so you're probably wondering, what? What's a Sergliski? I don't know. I just pretended that was a Brazilian name, so I'm like, why not I give him this name and pretend he's Brazilian. Like, I wanted to pretend that this sounds like a Brazilian name, but if I put too much into it, totally sorry. I could have just went like Christopher Colombo or Cobello or whatever I use in the NBA. Okay. Yogada Sergliskis was born in Brazil. He was born in 2000 and is about 24 years old. He plays shooting guard and is 6'5", 230 pounds. He is a defender, not the best at threes though. Yeah, we've seen that movie before. He can shoot mid-rangers pretty darn good. He left the Brazil team in 2022 to join a 3v3 league. You play 15 games before the tournament begins. So there are 8 players on each team, but there can only be 3 players on the court at once. Okay? There is a lockdown draft. Basically, this league is kind of like the big 3. Obviously, lockdown 3v3 is not a real league, but it's kind of like the big 3 because there's 3v3. Okay? And there is a draft too in the big 3, so kind of like that. The league is called 3v3 Lockdown. You must be 18 or older to join the league. It's pretty much the same thing with Big 3. Shout out Ice Cube. He actually owns that league. Okay. Anyways, you have to be older to join the league. Yoglada was teammates with former EuroLeague player Tyson Jones. Tyson Jones is a 6'7" point guard, and I picture him as a similar build to Sean Livingston. Yeah, I remember when he broke his leg. It was sad news. But I became happy because he won a championship eventually with the Warriors a few years later. At the end of the lockdown 3v3 2022-2023 season, Yoglada was planning on going back to play with Team Brazil. And he changed his mind again, and he ended up playing in a league in Tokyo for the 2023-2024 season. Yoglada is playing in a league in Atlanta, Georgia, currently. The team is called the St. Chili's. I didn't know what else name to come up with, so that's what I came up with. Yoglada wants to become a coach soon in 2025, during the summer. He can speak English, but needs to work more. And we back! Sorry about that stupid storage. It always happens when I'm filming these type of videos. Anyways, as I was saying, he can speak English, but needs to work more on his English, so he can make sense, and so far some people have a hard time understanding what he is trying to say. Remember my crush? She didn't make 0 sense. I didn't even understand I did not understand a single word she said. Even I can't speak right now. Anyways, it's hard to understand my baby sister too. She's like, okay, yeah. Do you want to go play ball? But I just love you. Can you come in and remember? Yeah, but it's a butt that... Okay, I'm making fun of my baby sister, and I shouldn't be doing that. It's not okay to make fun of people, okay? Understanding what you're trying to say. So he takes English language classes called Rosetta Stone. Go check it out if you want to learn Brazilian words or whatever language you want to learn or something. Well, that's Mr. Sergliskis right now. So that is how Yoglada Sergliskis is doing right now in his fiction life. Okay? Next up is Atash Atros. Atash Atros is from the Bahamas. Obviously, that sounds like a Bahamas name. Kind of like Buddy Hield. He is a junior in high school. In 2023, in the summer, his parents moved to Massachusetts. He played with the Atlanta EuroLeague team for his freshman year and then joined the Massachusetts EuroLeague team in his sophomore year. He moved to the USA when he was 3 years old to Atlanta. Then he was about 15 years old, almost 16, when he and the crew moved to Massachusetts. He currently plays shooting guard and a little bit of shooting guard when he gets the chance. He plays with other fiction players named Brooke Malachi and Lockett Brown, who I'm probably going to be throwing in here. And I'm going to be throwing them in 2K. So I'm going to make Brooks Malachi and Lockett Brown in 2K as well. They are also fiction players. And his team is currently 32-25, so that's basically 32 wins and 25 losses. In the 2024-2025 year in the league season, he was picked to do a sculpture project to make a sculpture body. We've seen that movie before. Atosh had to get naked. He had to get naked for it, so he wouldn't get his clothes dirty. Like, would you want to get paint on your clothes? Absolutely not. You would not want to do that. It might be toxic. The paint might be toxic. Atosh likes to make art sculptures. It's one of his hobbies. He was sponsored to be in the Takis chips commercial for the UK, United Kingdom. Dude, Takis are the bomb. I like blue ones and I like the red ones. They're a bomb. By the way, please do not search the UK commercials because, I mean, you can, but don't search Taki commercial on UK because it probably doesn't even exist. The Takis commercial was aired in the UK. He filmed the commercial about 5 months ago. The Takis commercial last aired in the UK about 3 weeks ago. Once we see commercials for a few bits, they're gone forever. Unless you go back to YouTube and watch them from the old days. He has sponsored 3 commercials in the last 2 years since 2023. So far in the 2024-2025 year in the league season, Atosh is averaging 13.4 points per game, 5.1 assists per game, 2.1 steals per game, and 3.1 rebounds per game. And 25.5 blocks per game. Okay. You know who else is doing that good in real life with the defense? Dyson Daniels. I feel like he's still kind of a bust, but he's good at defense, so maybe not. He's doing decent so far. He's a 34% three-point shooter as well so far this season. Well, that's currently Atros's fiction life currently in today's era, not 1990, okay? Whew. Okay. So this is going to be our last player of the day because I might make the video is probably already too much long already. So we're going to do part 5. So stay tuned for part 5. And part 5 will start my fiction story lives off with the next person. I'm not going to spoil it, okay? Anyways, subscribe to the channel. And anyways, I'm J-Dog and I'm out. Peace. Yo! What is up, guys? It's your boy, J-Dog, back with another video. Sorry I hurt your ears there. I'm sorry. Back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my creative players' fiction lives, part 5. So, this is where we talk about my fiction players' story lives in 2025. So, all these guys are created players, so we're gonna be making them in NBA 2K as well. I also made Dennis. Okay, this is the guy we're gonna be talking about, and this guy, actually, I can't let you guys see until you guys subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on, so you don't miss any more of my epic J-Dog content. I make dope content, and not just basketball, other stuff too. So, anyways, let's get started with our first created player fiction life story. So let's get this started. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Klygon is #1 as the best created player story life so far. So he'll be #1 on the created player story live fiction leaderboard. And if you want him to not be #1 anymore, you gotta vote. You gotta vote. And then he'll eventually fall to 2nd. So he's currently in 1st place right now. So Klygon is 1st on the leaderboard, for now in the fiction stories. So go check out. I'm gonna be popping up the leaderboard right now. Okay, here it is right now. That's it right there. So make your votes today and comment who you think should be #1 instead of Klygon. Okay, let's get this started though. Dennis Coco Bam Lion. I threw him into 2K. He's currently in 2K, so go check out my video on how to make my created players in NBA 2K. He is going to be in that TikTok completion video on YouTube. So please go watch the created player completions on how to make them, as Dennis Cockle Bamline is in that video. So please go check it out if you want to learn how to make Dennis. Alright. Dennis Cockle Bamline is a junior in high school in the Urinal League, and plans to declare for the NBA draft straight from the Urinal League. Kind of like OTE with a man and a SAR, what we talked about in part 4. Part 4. Dennis was born in Sudan. Both his mom and dad are Sudanese. I think that's how you say it. His dad, Marusi, played basketball at college in Sudan. After retiring, playing overseas, he and his wife decided to move to the U.S. for a better life for Dennis. Dennis was 2 years old when they ran away from Sudan. Dennis began his basketball career at 5 years old. It started off slowly, though. That doesn't mean your official career has started. Okay? At 5 years old, and his dad was training him hard. Dennis was using ropes tied to a tire, and he had to try and run with it behind him. He did the jumping box where you have to jump on a big box, you know. Athletes, you probably know what I mean. Dennis had to jump on the jumping box to test his vertical jump. You can test your vertical jumps in different ways. I think Shaden Sharp's like a 38 in real life. He's a real player. Shaden Sharp is a real player. You could go, if you don't believe me, go check 2K or Wikipedia or whatever. But Dennis is not going to be on Wikipedia, okay? It's going to be fake. And if you search him, it's probably going to go post Dennis Balunga instead of, okay, I don't know what I'm saying. To test his vertical jump. He played his first basketball action with his teammates and opponents. When Dennis was about 9 years old, he met a guy at the zoo park. Okay, at the zoo park? Okay, this guy, oh yeah, that guy's name, okay, never mind. This guy was about 7th or 8th when he saw that guy at the zoo park. That guy's name is Demba. Dennis told his parents if he can explore more animals with a krill. Not a grill, a krill, okay? It kind of sounds like a grill, okay? I'm sorry. How they met was when a krill heard his parents' conversation, and he told Dennis's parents that they can go pet the pets. Go pet the animals. There is a way to go pet them. But the only way you can pet them is if you go on a ride-along, as a krill Ademba said. And the reason they were talking about this is because Dennis wanted to pet the animals so bad. Except for gorillas, Dennis is scared of them, or was scared of them back then. So we don't know if he's still scared of them or not, but yes, if you were a little kid, that makes sense. Gorillas are really spooky, and they're mature. They have deep voices, and they growl deeply, and they can attack you like King Kong. Alright. Dennis's favorite wild animals are jaguars. I like jaguars. Not my favorite animal, though. Unfortunately. You hate to see it, hate to hear it. At his time at the zoo, he took a pic with a jaguar. Although they're his favorite animal, he's scared to take a picture with the jaguar. And was scared it was going to growl at him and attack him. Alright. Yep. Sometimes if you see your favorite animal in a person, you're like kind of not ready. Because you feel like, you understand, but sometimes you could be scared to see your favorite animal in real life instead of like pictures and videos and what the heck? Why is my computer? Ugh. Sorry about that. Anyways, we were talking about how he was scared that they were gonna the jaguar was gonna growl at him. His favorite home pet is cat. And he has 3 cats. Unfortunately, he's allergic to cats, just like my uncle in real life. Well, he was, but I don't know. Maybe he still is. There's a lot of people allergic to cats. Probably because they stink. Unfortunately, he is allergic to cats, so he can maybe have a couple of cats, but if it's a lot of cats, he will get itchy eyes and sneeze a lot. I remember Squidward in SpongeBob. He doesn't get an allergic reaction from one snail, but if there's over 9,000 snails, Squidward has an allergic reaction. Go check that episode out. You'll know what I mean. Okay. Okay, he said he only okay, but if he sneezes a lot, he said in an interview that he has 3 cats only because he said, I'm only allergic to cats if there's a lot of them around me, said Dennis. Dennis has 1 black grayish tabby cat, 1 white cat, just regular white, fully white, and 1 ginger tabby cat. If you know what a ginger cat looks like, you've seen the game before, Talking Ginger. His white cat is a girl, and her name is Selma. The reason I picked this name is I remember back at my old school, there was a girl named Selma in my class. I'm like, yeah, why not give the cat that name? The black grayish tabby cat is also a... Oh, sorry. Oh, my God. Okay. The black grayish tabby cat is a boy, and his name is Lamar. And the ginger tabby cat is also a boy, and his name is Anthony. He picked them up during quarantine because he needed siblings to hang out with during quarantine because Dennis was lonely and bored. And the reason he was lonely is because his parents were always at work. Work. Okay, we're not singing that. Dennis joined the Yearna League in November 2022 for the Texas Yearna League team. He joined at the same time as his teammate Cooper Alexander. They also had Alvin Evans, who I made a video on how to make him before. I made this video a year ago. So the video I made a year ago was how to make Alvin Evans. So if you want to go find that video out, it came out 1 year ago, and I'll throw up the thumbnail right here. Go check that video out on how to make Alvin Evans. I also showed you guys how to make Chris Brookie recently. By the way, that was my younger self showing you how to make Chris Brookie, but you could go check it out. And they had Chris Brookie for a little bit before he moved to Orlando. He finished the season with most blocks in the 2022-2023 Yearna League season. He had 6.7 points per game, 9.1 blocks per game, and 9.9 rebounds per game. He only had 0.6 assists per game, not too shabby. That is not too good. In Dennis's sophomore year, they picked up a freshman named Kendon Christophers to pair up with Cooper Alexander and none other than your boy Dennis. They started the 2023-2024 Yearna League season off to a hot start, going 15-1 before they went on a 10-game losing streak, becoming 15-11. It's kind of like my Golden State Warriors. This year, they finished at like 15-2. And then ever since they lost to Wemby, their season collapsed badly. And I can't believe they just... Dude, last month they lost to the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors suck way more. And then they lost to the Jazz, who even are the worst team in the NBA in the Western Conference. So how did Curry lose to them? Dennis average... Okay. 15-11. They did end their streak They ended their one game... They only went on a 1-game winning streak before they went on a 15-game losing streak. And once they ended their 15-game losing streak, they were 17-26. They ended the 2023-2024 Yearna League season with a record of 27-49, so they only won 27 games. And they lost the rest. Missing the Yearna League 2024 playoffs. Dennis averaged 5 9.3 points per game, 10.0 rebounds per game, and 5.7 blocks per game. For the 2024-2025 season, they picked up another great player who plays guard as well as Kendon. And this guy's name is Levin Hiddenway. So far this season, they are they are currently 25 and 34. Still not good, but not that bad as last year. Hopefully the Warriors can contain that and continue to manage to win more games with especially Butler. So far, Levin Hiddenway is leading the team with 23.4 points per game. Dennis is currently averaging 5.7 points per game, 11.2 rebounds per game, and 7.9 blocks per game. Kenan Christophers is averaging 19 points per game. On February 11th, 2025, he went to watch... On February 11th, 2025, Dennis Kakobam Lion went to watch his friend Akril Ademba play in the Overseas/Junior League tournament. This was the Sweet 16 where Team Africa, Akril's team, upsetted USA in the Sweet 16. Well, that is your boy Dennis Kakobam Lion for the day. Woo-hoo! Okay. Well, that is gonna do it for today's video. Now, I usually do a lot of videos, but since that Dennis Kakobam Lion fiction story life was so long, we're gonna wrap it up from here. So if you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more J-Dog content. Anyways, I'm J-Dog and I'm out. Peace. Boom, what is up, guys? It's your boy J-Dog back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my creative players' fiction lifestyles. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about my creative players' fiction story lives. If you haven't seen the series at all yet, go ahead, check it out. Right now, so far, Klygon is #1 in the leaderboard of the best created player fiction life so far. So he's #1 in the created player fiction life so far. So he's the best guy who's had the best story life ever. So anyways, before we get in the video, I want you guys to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more of my epic J-Dog content. Anyways, let's get started on our first created player story life. So let's get ready for my created fiction player's story life. Starting off with Serbo Vaskov Kencable. I gave him that name because it sounds French, just like the Yogata Sergliski's one. So kind of like that. Okay, anyways, let's get this started. Serbo Vaskov Kencable, born March 22nd, 2004, and was born in France. Serbo grew up in a tough family. His dad died when Serbo was 8 years old. That is tough. His dad died from a manslaughter by an old friend from middle school. And I think a manslaughter is like when you try to kill someone on purpose. I don't know. By an old friend from middle school. I guess they were friends and then they became enemies last minute. Okay. Serbo and his parents were poor. Even before his dad died, they were still poor. Because his dad got fired from his job due to a report for a threat. So he got accused of a threat. And that's why he got fired. They eventually found out in court what kind of threat it was. And they ended up finding out that it was not Serbo. It was not Serbo that said that. So they accused him. Serbo's parents got behind on bills. Serbo's dad's mission was to give his friend money before the 5 days ended. So he had 5 days to get the money, and if he didn't get the money by 5 days, he was gonna die. So he ended up not being able to get money because he couldn't afford it. So and then last minute, with 1 hour left, he got the money, but he still died. He wasn't able to give them the money in time because they gave him a time. They said he needed to be there in 5 minutes. He didn't make it there in 5 minutes, and he failed, and he got shot. That was probably like a GTA kind of mission. Whew. Anyways, like I said, he couldn't get the money in time, which eventually led to his death. He died in 2012. If you want to know what day it was, here we go. It popped up on the news later that night. The shooting happened February 10th, 2012 at around 12:30 p.m. during lunchtime. I love lunch. Serbo and his mom broke down in tears and were emotional for days. During his funeral, Serbo was thankful to have his dad in his life for as long as he could. And he was even happy because his dad actually helped them get into the game. They would train every day, and yeah. So like I said, they would train every day. Serbo said that they were like best friends. That's what they say. Sometimes the dad and son think they're best friends, although they're actually dad and son. He was even grateful that they had a lot of son and dad time going out to eat. I haven't did one with my mom. I did one with my stepdad before. So that counts. That counts. And with my regular dad. Serbo played his first basketball championship game back in 3rd grade. I used to be a bad boy in 3rd grade, by the way. Serbo finished off his elementary years winning only one championship in elementary. In middle school, he grew to 6'6". In 8th grade, he grew to about 6'8". We talked about this with Kill and Bark. He just finished high school in May 2024 and went overseas, and he is currently playing with Team France, of course, because that's where he is from. He is currently 6'9" and 212 pounds. Not the best at threes, but he can make them sometimes when it actually goes in. He is a 29% 3-point shooter right now. That seems not too bad. He finished the 2024-2025 regular season with 8.9 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and 7.5 assists per game, and 6.5 blocks per game. By the way, I'm pretending he played with Marcel Angele. And I actually made a video on him too if you want to learn how to make his teammate. It's in the Creative Player TikTok completion on YouTube. Okay, anyways, back on top. In the 2025 Overseas International first round tournament, he had 26 points, 7 blocks, and 11 assists. They just played Nigeria in the Sweet 16 but got spanked. He finished with 13 points, 16 rebounds, and 2 3-pointers and 18 assists. During the tournament, he had a total average of 39.4 points per game and 29.0 assists per game. He had a phenomenal freshman year of college and could go into the 2026 NBA draft. That is currently my guy, Serbo Vaskov Ken Cable. Now we gotta get into a tough other story, so let's get some drinks up. Okay, let's get this. Lamon Gaydon. Lamon Gaydon was born in Sacramento, California, but his mom was born in Jordan and his dad was born in Nebraska. His parents got married when he was in his mom's stomach, and that's how he became a Gaydon. His mom's birth name was Deckens. She got the last name in time for Layman to become a Gaydon. Because of his dad's last name, so that's... But the kid always gets the dad's last name. So whether or not he was born before the wedding, he would still get that last name because it's his dad. Gaden is the dad of Layman and Layman's grandfather. So his dad's name is Quentin and his grandpa's name is Quentin. So his dad is a junior and his grandpa is a senior. Layman's dad retired in 2018 because of knee problems. Quentin Jr. started his career in 2002 with no knee problems yet. The knees started to bother him in 2013. We've seen this happen with Derrick Rose, Greg Oden, and Brandon Roy. In November 2013, he tore his ACL and missed the rest of the season. He tore his left ACL, by the way. And he came back in January 2015. Then, during the Overseas International Championship, he tore his same ACL on the same left knee. That's kind of like Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham got injured on the championship day, aka Super Bowl. They got injured in their championship games. Yeah, he tore his left ACL yet again with 56 seconds left in the second half, so the game was practically over. Then during the Overseas International Championship, we just read that. He returned in August 2016. 1 week into the season, he injured his meniscus on the same left knee as his ACL injuries. It's over for him. It's over for him like Victor Oladipo, Derrick Rose, Brandon Roy, and Greg Oden. Okay. He managed to come back just in time for the tournament, and his Team USA won the International Championship. He joined Team USA for one more year in 2018. His team made it to the International Championship, but lost to Team Canada on February 28th, 2018, which was Laymon's dad's last year in ever. His team lost 100-78. He didn't play at all, though, in the tournament. He only played 15 games in the 17-18 season. So usually when you get old, just like Udonis Haslem, when Udonis Haslem was old, he stopped getting a lot of minutes. He used to play a lot when he was younger. But anyways, he played only 15 games in the 17-18 season. He played his entire career with Team USA from 2002 to 2018. Woo, Kobe Bryant vibes. He was only 34 when he retired, still pretty young. Now, it makes sense that he played his entire career with USA because that's where he is from. Okay. He was only 34 when he retired. We've seen that. Blake Griffin's still young, and he just retired too fast. Still pretty. Okay, anyways, let's get back to Layman Gaden. Layman started playing basketball at 3 years old. In 3rd grade, his team lost the championship. And in 4th grade, the same thing happened. And in 5th grade, the same exact thing happened. He moved to a different school for 6th grade, and he started struggling at scoring and was sent to the bench. In 7th grade, he got better again, but it wasn't enough to make a middle school tournament. In 8th grade, his team struggled again, although he was making lots of threes to help them. Then he averaged 19.7 points per game. For 9th grade, he moved to a different school. He went off in February 2021. By the way, when I mean he went off, I mean he just couldn't miss. A month before his school went into safety protocols, where he stopped going to school and stopped playing 9th grade basketball because they went back into quarantine. So they went from COVID-19, they were ready to go back, went back to school, back in person, and they got freaked out again, and they had to go back into quarantine yet again. Why that school, though? Because his school is very strict, that's why. For 10th grade, he went off averaging 20.3 points per game and got scouts to play at UCLA, Arizona Wildcats, Duke, and Princeton. In high school, he made varsity but got injured. Guys, can you let me know what high school varsity means? Because I really don't know. Because I hope this makes sense. I don't know. In 11th grade, he averaged 14.1 points per game and had a 42% three-point shooting percentage. He got more scouts to play at Notre Dame, LSU, Indiana, Oregon, and Purdue. For 12th grade, he declined all of his offers because he wanted to play overseas instead, to play for his mom's hometown country, Jordan, where he is currently playing with my other fiction player, Zylan Yuri. He didn't join immediately. He wanted to work harder to play in the tough tables, which also means playing in the tough leagues, like playing in more competitive leagues. The other word for me saying that is tough tables. So once he felt ready, he joined Team Jordan. He joined Team Jordan on December 2nd, 2024. He played alongside my other fiction player, Zylan Yuri, and another fiction player, Jonah Mitchell. Laymon finished the season with 15.4 points per game, 3.5 assists per game, and 3.2 blocks per game. In the 2025 Overseas International Tournament, he had 15 points in the first round against Russia. In the Sweet 16 against China, he only had 8 points. His team still won, though, which is great. The final score was 95-89 when they beat China. They just advanced February 11th, 2025 to play against 31st seed Africa, who pulled an upset against USA to win 111-114. Laymon is going to play a tough team who have Akril Ademba, who we mentioned earlier, as Dennis Cockle Bam Lions' friend. And my assistant has officially joined me. By the way, my assistant is my dog. His name's Max, and he got a fresh cut, a bussin' cut. Okay, anyways. Laymon and the crew said, "We are going to try our best to stop Akril Ademba." Laymon's team, Team Jordan, will take on Africa in the Elite Eight on February 18th, 2025. He was not real today. He was fake today. So don't watch this game on CBS, as we're going to mention, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS and ESPN2. You can also watch this game on streaming apps like ESPN Plus, Hulu, and on Max. By the way, if you search it, it's not going to be on Max, because this is just a made-up game. Well, that's Laymon Gaydon currently in his fiction story life. We will keep you updated on Layman after the Elite Eight, maybe to see if he kept their season alive or not. And lastly, Atkins Comp. Atkins Comp was born on July 15th, 2007. He joined the Urinal League in August 2022. He made his Urinal League debut with the Atlanta Urinal League team on November 5th, 2022. Avon Kupi and Jinko Kupi, as well as Atkins Comp. As well as Atkins Comp's teammates. His team did horrible in their first year together as freshmen. So Atkins, Avon, and Jinko Kupi did not do good in their freshman years. Well, they did good, but the team just didn't do good, because obviously they're still young and getting ready. They finished the season 15-50 in the 2022-2023 Urinal League season. They missed the playoffs completely naked. But what I mean by completely naked, I mean they missed the playoffs completely. They did not make a single spot in the playoff. They didn't make it at all. Atkins wanted to come up with a solution for their sophomore year. They did well for the first 5 games, starting 5-0. They went back to the worst team column after that and finished 23-50. They still made it to the playoffs, though, because some of the teams were bad, but they had to add one more team to the playoff bracket to make the playoffs even. Atlanta was the first top as the worst team, but not as worse as the rest of the Urinal League teams. If they were the lower worst team, they wouldn't make it. Atlanta was on the top as the 13th seed, although they weren't that good. They were easily eliminated 4-0. Currently, the Atlanta Urinal League team is 24-35. Hey, similar to Texas. Ever? They even picked up Kois Figueroa, a pretty good player. Kois Figueroa, another fiction player. I feel like he's kind of similar. Well, I picture him kind of similar to Koopy. A pretty good player, but they are still not doing their best. So far this season, Atkins isn't leading the team, but he is still doing good. It's kind of surprising that I made him not lead the team. But he's still averaging 19.7 points per game. And the reason he isn't leading the team is because Avon Koopy actually is leading the team. And he's leading the Atlanta Yearling team with 25.4 points per game currently in the 2024-2025 season so far. Atkins has 5.8 assists per game. He's like a Tyrese Halliburton passing skills. A Tyrese Halliburton passing build. In the 2024-2025 season, doing phenomenal at his passing accuracy. We will see what happens to Atkins and his team as the season progresses. But that is my fiction story, guy. Atkins comp. Woo! It's gonna wrap it up. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss any more J-Dog content. Anyways, I'm J-Dog and I'm out.